Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my secret world of foodie. In this video, I would like to talk about and share what I know about the different foodie hair types. Before we dive deep into this very interesting topic, first and foremost, I would like to thank all my friends and everyone who have shared and contributed their valuable knowledge and expertise acquired along the foodie journey. I don't think this video would have been complete nor this thorough without everyone's contribution. So a very big thank you to all of them. I would like to start off this topic with goat, as it is the type of hair or fiber most commonly found and used for makeup brushes. Goat hair is not as soft as some of the other hair types, but it is very good in packing up and applying powder as well as cream makeup products. Prior to proceeding, I would like us to remember that softness to a brush is not actually the most important or primordial aspect of a brush. There are other factors that one must bear into consideration, such as the size of the brush, the preferred shape, material, hair type, length, as well as density. Furthermore, one must also keep in mind of the type of skin that one has, such as being oily, dry, combination, mature, as well as the functionality, preferred method of application, and the preferred type of products, such as cream, powder, and gel. It has been commonly agreed that goat hair is quite suitable for all users, regardless whether one has oily or combination or even dry skin. Goat brushes are well known for its flawless and even result, as well as glowy and radiant finishing. Within the goat category, there are several types of subcategories, as we can see from this illustration. Goat hair used for foodie comprises of hair from different parts of the animal. We have hair originating from the chest, the back, the shoulder, forefoot side, beard, stomach, waist, legs, and tail. Let us start by the chest. From the chest area, we have three types of hair, namely sokoho, saikoho, and saibikoho. Sokoho hair is the type of hair which is long, thin, and soft. It is the type of hair which is in most abundant. Hence, it is the least expensive from many foodie manufacturers. Certain manufacturers also like to dye this type of hair. The Chikuhodo Passion series is an example of dyed sokoho hair. Depending on one's type of skin, such as if you have sensitive skin, this type of hair may be slightly prickly. Saikoho hair is a higher grade than sokoho. It is often used in higher grade line from manufacturers, as they are also pricier than sokoho hair. The Chikuhodo Takumi series, along with many Sonia G brushes, are made from saikoho hair. This type of hair is very soft, and most sensitive skin individuals are able to use this type of hair. Lastly, we have saibikoho hair. This type of hair is made from selected saikoho hair, and it is only from the finest and softest of Saikoho hairs. Saibikoho hair is definitely on the pricier end due to its rarity. Often, Saibikoho hair has been compared to the same level of softness as squirrel hair. Hairs from other areas of the goat used for fude comprises of shoulder, forefoot side, stomach, legs, back, and tail. Tankoho hair is actually more delicate and thinner, but hair that is shorter in length than Sokoho hair. Hakutotsuho hair comes from the shoulder and forefoot side of the animal. Hence, this type of hair is moderate in elasticity and durability. Ototsuho comes from the shoulder of the goat. This type of hair is thin and short. It has a nice texture, elasticity, and coloration. Jotsumeho, coming from the stomach and the legs of the animal, is actually hair that is rather tough and elastic. It is thus more suitable for firm brushing. Saishoho hair is situated at the back of the goat. It is actually hair similar to Sokoho hair. The difference is that it is a tad slightly more rough than Sokoho hair. Otoho hair. Otoho hair is hair between the back and the stomach of the goat. This type of hair is ideal for makeup application in more difficult areas such as around the nostril. Compared to other type of goat hair, this type of hair is normally less expensive. And finally, we have Yano. Yano is hair from the tail of the goat. This type of hair is water resistant and therefore it is suitable for liquid-based products. The next type of hair that we shall move on to is squirrel. It exists a very wide variety of squirrel around the world. We shall nevertheless remain within the most common types found and used within the foodie world, amongst which we find the gray squirrel, the blue squirrel, the Kazakhstan squirrel, the tree squirrel, the pine squirrel, the Canadian squirrel, the Kazan squirrel, also known as the brown squirrel, and the red squirrel. Often, squirrel hair is mixed with other types of hair such as goat, pony, weasel, and synthetic. The main reason for the mixing of hair vary from maintaining the brush shape, stabilizing the brush quality, allowing more resilience, as well as offering a more affordable option to the market. Generally speaking, most manufacturers do not recommend the usage of squirrel hair with cream or liquid products as they absorb substantially more product and are delicate by nature. Furthermore, the frequent cleaning process may be too aggressive and abrasive towards squirrel hair, and this might damage the hair of the brush. Unlike goat hair brushes, which normally pack more product and gives a more polished finishing, squirrel hair used in fude provide a more sheer and natural finishing upon application. Squirrel hair are thin with a pointed tip and contains a more or less uniform body with no spring or small amount of spring. Spring is the capability of the hair to return rapidly to its original shape. Squirrel hair brushes are generally good for dry skin or sensitive skin, and they provide a soft coverage with a more natural result. Let us take a closer look at the different types of squirrel hair used in Fude. Let us start off with the red squirrel. The red squirrel may actually be the softest squirrel hair that I own or have ever played with along in my Fude journey. This type of squirrel hair is actually quite rare, and it is extremely soft and somewhat fragile. This type of hair is excellent for highly pigmented products, since Fude made from this type of hair will not over-apply products, and it will leave a natural finishing. Blue squirrel. Although blue squirrel is not quite as soft as the red squirrel, the blue squirrel is also quite soft, whilst also feeling a little more firm than the red squirrel. The big advantage of the blue squirrel is that it is not as fragile as the red squirrel. The hairs are identified as being blue-black with a grey root. Next, let us look at the grey squirrel. The grey squirrel is the most common type of squirrel hair used for makeup brushes. It is a very soft hair, whilst being more resilient than blue or red squirrel. Often users call the blue and the grey squirrel the same thing, but in fact, they are not the same. There exists two types of grey squirrel. However, the original brush manufacturers, commonly known as OEM, does not make or identify such differences. The grey squirrel is less expensive than the red or the blue squirrel. Kazakhstan squirrel. The Kazakhstan squirrel hair has a softness that is a tad firmer than the red squirrel hair, but softer than the blue squirrel. It is a type of hair which is in fact quite expensive due to the fact that this type of squirrel is rare. Brushes made from this type of hair are often smaller brushes, such as eyeshadow brushes and highlighter brushes. The pine squirrel is the least softest amongst all squirrel hairs. It has the ability to apply more pigment compared to gray, blue, red, and the rest of the other squirrel hairs. In spite of the hair being soft, the hair tip has a less uniform body. Hence, it is more difficult for the bundling process. Therefore, pine squirrel is often used for shorter brushes, such as eyeshadow brushes. Pine squirrel hair, like gray squirrel hair, is also on the less expensive side. Tree squirrel. The tree squirrel is an interesting hair as it is similar to the weasel, since it is elastic and rather tough in nature. This type of squirrel hair is mainly found in eyeshadow brushes. Canadian squirrel. The Canadian squirrel has a beautiful incorporated tone of black and gold fusion. We also have the white and the black mixed Canadian squirrel hair, which is often used and a bit more rare than the gold and black fusion. The hair has less spring back, hence it is easy to shape whilst maintaining a delicate and soft texture. The hair itself is rather thick and shorter than most varieties of squirrel hair, and resembles somewhat of the sable hair in both appearance and behavior. The Kazan squirrel. The Kazan squirrel obtained its name from the Soviet Union origins. The texture of the hair is close and similar to the blue squirrel, but slightly softer, whilst a tad firmer than the red squirrel. The Kazan squirrel hair has been well known and considered to be the best of the squirrel hair due to its combination of softness and elasticity both at the same time. This type of squirrel hair is highly sought after by Fude users as it is easy to control, and even beginners in the makeup world cannot go wrong with this type of hairs. Hairs on this brush permits a natural and sheer finish of products on the skin. It is like maneuvering Harry Potter's wand with hairs. Next, let us have a look at the sable family. The common name often referred to marten is sable. However, sable hair technically originates from the same animal family that is known as Mustelidae. Mustelidae are a family of carnivorous mammals that include weasels, badgers, otters, ferrets, martens, minks, and wolverines. Sable hair is very well known to be lifetime investments, as if one takes proper care of it, it should normally last for many years to come. Sable hair is very versatile in that they are non-absorbent, hence great for liquids and cream products. The most common sable hair used in Fude comprises of Kolinsky, weasel, white or gold sable, and palmy. The king of sable hair is no doubt the Kolinsky. The home to the Kolinsky includes Siberia, northern China, Korea, as well as the western part of Russia. Kolinsky hair is very rare and expensive, and the finest hair will come from the male winter coat of the Kolinsky. Normally, Chinese Kolinsky is slightly darker with lesser red, whilst the Siberian Kolinsky is brownish with a prominent, distinctive yellowish-reddish hue. Kolinsky hair comes with long and thin tips and provides intense coloring due to its strength. It has been well known that Kolinsky is preferred for eyeshadow brushes. Weasel. The weasel hair comes with shorter and less thick hair than Kolinsky, hence being slightly inferior in quality. The weasel hair is normally more reddish in comparison to the cousin Kolinsky, which is more golden brownish in color. They are also shorter in length, but definitely softer, and thus not as resilient as the Kolinsky. Palmy hair, on the other side, is similar to the weasel hair, but it is thinner and tougher as well as shorter. Palmy hair is often combined with horse and weasel hair. This type of hair is relatively inexpensive, and sometimes Fude manufacturers do dye the hair, hence making them resembling the red sable. The horsehair. Horsehair is a very common type of hair found in the production of makeup brushes. As in the case of goat, horsehair can vary greatly in quality. The texture of horsehair is harsh, hence making it difficult to bundle. This type of hair is inexpensive as horse can be found more abundantly. To avoid this harsh texture in the horsehair, often brush manufacturers combine all the natural hairs to provide a more elastic and yet a softer and more adaptable brush suitable for face makeup application. Pony hair. Pony hair has a strong and durable grip. Its tips are less pointy than squirrel hair, and it has the same level of thickness from the tip to the root. This type of hair is more expensive than goat, but less expensive than squirrel. Manufacturers like to mix and combine this type of hair with goat or squirrel. The water badger. The water badger hair is best suitable for eyebrow brushes. Why? Well, because this type of hair is quite thick, firm, and rough, with elastic roots while the tip is very thin. Raccoon hair. The raccoon hair is very pointed at the tip with a natural spring. The hair is very strong and is normally used with sticky pigments. I have found over the years that raccoon hair is perfect for eyebrow products application. Finally, we come to synthetic hair brushes. Synthetic brushes are usually made from nylon, that is PBT, or Taclon, also known as PET. The latter, being PET or Taclon, is often softer than nylon, that is PBT. Synthetic hair are less absorbent than natural hair. Hence, they are amazing for liquid and cream products, but not so much for powder products. The biggest advantage for synthetic hair is that they are not easily prone to damages since they absorb less pigment. Therefore, they are easier to clean and to maintain. To sum up, goat hair is generally the most versatile and flexible hair for makeup application. The reason simply being that 1. Goat hair can be used for any kind of product, from liquid and creams to powders. Secondly, goat hair applies products between moderate to heavy finishing. Goat hair is often recommended for all skin type, but especially those with combination to oily skin types. Note that these are only recommendations rather than a rule, as one is free to use whichever one or type of hair that one desires to. As for squirrel hair, it is highly recommended for powdered products rather than cream or liquids, as the hairs are delicate and can be easily damaged. For a soft and natural finishing, squirrel hair is the way to go. It is often recommended for those with sensitive and dry skin. As for the rest of the hair types, in exception to the synthetic, that does not pick up powder as well as natural hairs, all other hairs are quite resilient and hence less fragile than the squirrel hair. Thus, as often misinterpreted by many individuals, there is no such thing as right or wrong in Fude. And softness is not everything there is in a brush. There are certain guidelines provided by manufacturers, such as not using squirrel hair with creams or liquids so as to prolong the life of the brush. Nevertheless, I know that some individuals do in fact use squirrel hair with creams and liquids. As previously mentioned, Fude is something very, very personal and remains, after all, to be a hobby. Remember, Fude is for fun. Sometimes it can be a very expensive hobby, as it may be. And that is a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning in and keeping me company, my foodie friends. It would mean so much to me if you could like, subscribe, as well as turn on the notification bell, just in case you have not yet done so. I will be back soon with more interesting fun facts about brands, shapes, and hair treatment eventually. But that is in another chapter for another day. Goodbye.